Hi friends, this is Joyatri. Welcome to my channel Movie Plus. Today I am illustrating a national award-winning Bengali film, Subho Muharat, directed by Rituporno Ghosh. He was not only a brilliant director but also an actor, writer and lyricist. He won 19 national awards in his short span of life. He heralded contemporary Bengali cinema to a greater heights. He died on 30th May 2013 at the age of 49 years. 19 April, Dahon, Chokher Bali, Titli, etc. are among his notable work. He was influenced by the work of Satyajit Ray. This film was released in July 2003. IMDb rating was 7.6 out of 10. 94% Google users liked this film. This is an Indian Bengali detective mystery film. This film is based on Agatha Christie's detective story, The Mirror Cracked from Side to Side, of the Miss Marple series. This movie was acted by many renowned artists from film industry. Sharmila Tagore, Rakhi Gulzar, Nandita Das and many more. Shubho Muharat literally means auspicious moment of starting any good thing. Here also, the phrase Subho Muharat is associated with the beginning of the shooting for her feature film Nithur Darodi. This film begins with this event. The first shot is marked by a grand reception. All famous artists from industry were invited there. Shomito Chatterjee, Gautam Ghosh, Shubhendu Chattopadhyay, Madhavi Mukherjee, all were present. Movie starts with news on the television. Padmini Chaudhary, who is an NRI producer, former renowned actress played by Sharmila Tagore, was giving an interview on the production of her film, Nithur Darodi. The film was being directed by her second husband, Sambit Roy, played by Shubhendu Mukherjee, who was not a very successful director at present. She was explaining about her choice of main heroine, Kakuli Sinha, played by Kalyani Mondal, from her Golf King House, Kolkata. According to her, Kakuli's talent was not properly explored by any director ever. So, when she decided to produce a film in India, she referred the name of Kakuli in a prominent role. Kakuli is a good friend of hers. In next scene, everybody is busy sending out invitation cards. Padmini has insomnia and takes sleeping pills. Night before the event was tough for her. Next day in the studio, Kakuli was very nervous for her first shot as she had not acted in last 5 years. She was given a glass of lassi by her hairdresser, Kalpana, to calm her down. Her shot had finally gone well and had received a lot of praise from Padmini and others, but director was not very happy. There were two significant events that had taken place on the set. Kalpana's life was saved luckily when a heavy camera was about to fall on her, where her lover Sunil was on action. Cold drinks were served by Kanai to Padmini and others. Kanai was played by Jishu Sengupta, who was the caterer in the event. Padmini was shocked to see Kanai there. She hated Kanai because Kanai touched her body in an inappropriate manner while doing a rape scene in a past movies. He was subsequently thrown out of the acting circuit. This aspiring actor started a catering service for the film unit. Sambit, her husband, tried to cool her down. Sambit was the one who appoints Kanai there. It was disclosed later in the film. A glass of cold drinks fell from Kakuli's hand for some unknown reason, ruining Padmini's sari as Padmini was standing beside her. Padmini offered Kakuli her own glass of cold drinks, which Kakuli ended up drinking. Along with other invitees, journalist named Mallika Sen, played by Nandita Das, photographer Shubhankar, played by Anindya Chatterjee, met there. Mallika took an appointment for an interview with Sambit and Padmini. In Kakuli's case, she agreed to take Mallika with her to her house for an interview. Kakuli was not feeling well since the very beginning on the set, and as she started feeling worse, she decided to leave early. Padmini and Kakuli, they knew each other very well. They had acted together in Sammit's previous film, Praner Pradip. Kakuli invited Padmini home before leaving India. Kakuli was really feeling uneasy, couldn't even talk properly. Kakuli tried to give her interview lying on her bed. She spoke of how she had won the Best Supporting Actress award for Praner Pradip. She had acted with a body temperature of 103 degrees Fahrenheit during that shoot. Padmini was the only one who understood her. She forced her to go home and take rest. After that, she was stuck for 1.5 months in her house due to some contagious disease. Before she could tell what the disease was, she started vomiting a lot and suddenly died on the floor without any medical assistance in Mallika's presence. Mallika found a small paper in her hand. Just before Kakuli died, one unknown person had come to the house and was attended by Kakuli herself. A phone call was received by Mallika too. There was no response from other side except the sound of Rabindra Sangeet. Unfortunately, Mallika couldn't recollect the lyrics of the song she heard over phone to the police. She was born and brought up in Jamshedpur and her Bengali wasn't very good. Mallika had to be in the police station for the rest of the night. Shubhankar was there with her that night and helped her. Mallika was very upset seeing death so closely. She cancelled her interview with Padmini scheduled for that day and took to rest. According to initial police report, death was due to overdose of drug and it came to light that Kakuli was a frequent drug user. Mallika stayed with her aunt Ranga Pishi, played by Rakhi Gulzar, in Kolkata. The relationship between aunt and niece was very sweet, filled with friendly banter and taunts. After the photographer brought Mallika home, her aunt continuously teased her about it. The aunt herself was a big fan of Miss Padmini Chaudhary. She kept all information about her. Apart from cooking, stitching, she had a keen interest in solving cases. She had the ability to think deeply and had sharp eye in every matter. She guides Mallika beautifully in choosing a life partner. She lives with her pet cat, which is pregnant, and she takes good care of it. As she has keen interest in Padmini, she tries to relate and connect the incidents on the set with each other, along with the additional knowledge she has about Padmini. She shares them with her niece as well. Next day, everybody came to know that shooting was cancelled. They started questioning a bunch of people. First person they spoke to was the husband of the actress, IPS officer Arindam, played by Titu Roy Chaudhary, and his team found letters which were nicely filed in Kakuli's house. It was initially told by the husband that the letters were fan mails, but looking further into it, it was found that those were love letters, which the husband mentioned were of Kakuli to her lover, and the handwriting on the letters was hers. Nobody could understand why Kakuli would file her own love letters instead of sending them. Later, Mallika handed over a piece of paper to the officer, where Kakuli had written a direction of her house for Mallika on the set, and the handwriting did not match to that of the letter. So it was found that the love letters were written to the husband from another woman. The investigation suggested that the husband might have wanted to kill his wife because he wanted to live for another woman after Kakuli got addicted to drugs within few years of their marriage. There was an unknown person assumed to be a drug peddler called Bholu, who had come to house that night. The police has started searching people whose names were similar to Bholu as per the aunt's suggestion. They succeeded to catch someone called Lalu, who was indeed a drug peddler. Later on, during a post-mortem report, it was found that Kakuli died of poisoning, not drug overdose. The husband was on the top of the list, as he had sent the lassi which was consumed by Kakuli before the shoot. Luckily, there was no sign of poison in the glass of lassi. the Sambit Roy was called to police station for interrogation. His behavior towards Kakuli was not up to the mark and the police was blaming him for mental torture. Sambit had a bitter relationship with Kakuli. It was revealed that she had stolen his story for a movie and shared it with another director and got the lead role in the same movie. Finally, Mallika decides to take Padmini's interview and goes to her house. During the discussion, Mallika revealed that according to the police report, the poison in Kakuli's body entered 5 hours before her death, which meant that someone must have given it to her on the set itself. Both of them were astonished because Kakuli had not eaten anything on the set that day. Suddenly it hit Mallika that Kakuli had consumed a glass of cold drinks on the set. Her glass had fallen and Padmini had offered her glass to Kakuli. It was a new turning point of the story because now it was found that the victim was supposed to be Padmini, not Kakuli, because the poison in the Padmini's glass, which was given to Kakuli accidentally. Padmini wanted to know who was it, whether it was her husband or Kanai, whose career she had destroyed, or somebody else. Padmini was scared, depressed, and called lawyer to make a will. On the other hand, the movie we can see a fight between Kanai, the caterer, and the Sambit regarding the name on the bills of catering. Sambit lied to Padmini about Kanai because he had some interest in Kanai. Something like Kanai might have more connection in the industry or may introduce Sambit to a new producer. And that's why he had hired Kanai, despite knowing that Padmini hated Kanai. Mallika in the meanwhile started having an affair with the IPS officer, and all this while Shubhankar had taken a liking towards Mallika. After returning home, Mallika used to discuss the point of the case with her aunt. On the other side, the hairdresser Kalpana was having an affair with Sunil, the cameraman. But he was married to Promila, who was now pregnant. Kalpana was threatening Sunil to disclose their affair to his wife if he did not give her money. She kept calling him on the house number, which made his wife suspicious. Promila's mother came to take her daughter to their place to deliver the baby. Shubhankar had come one day to deliver some photos to Mallika, but she wasn't at home. So he sat down chatting with the aunt, where she gave him the tale of Mallika and Arindam. During the conversation, it was found that Shubhankar was related to Padmini. She was his aunt. Padmini and his uncle's divorce had taken place during the shooting of the movie Pranit Prodip, during which Padmini was pregnant. He also added, during her pregnancy, she was staying isolated for a few months in upstairs. After their divorce, his uncle had died out of shock. Padmini's child was born abnormal. She decided to move to America with her child. In another scene, Kalpana managed to meet with Sunil, who gives her only $500 and tells her that he doesn't have any more money, but Kalpana needed about 1 lakh for her kid's treatment. Next day, Padmini gets a call from Sunil's wife Promila, saying he knew who was the murderer was, and he was telling to tell Padmini by coming over to the house. She was sneezing on the other side of the line. Next day, Kalpana comes over instead of Promila and begs for money for the treatment of her child. She seemed to be sick as well. Padmini offers to make Kalpana some ginger tea, which she initially agrees but rejects after a while. Padmini asks Kalpana to do her eyebrows and pays her $1,000 for her service. She promises to pay Kalpana 1 lakh in the next few days before Padmini goes back to America. Padmini also offers an inhaler to Kalpana to help her with her blocked nose. After that, Kalpana went to Sunil's house, where they both had a good time. Sunil took away the bills from her bag, which she was using to blackmail Sunil with. Sunil offered her some drink when she asked for water. She consumed a little. After Kalpana left in a taxi, the news came that Kalpana also died in the taxi, mysteriously poisoned. Police caught Sunil, thinking he was the one who poisoned her because he was the last person to see her. Police found some money and the branded inhaler in her purse, along with other casual ladies' things. Upon her aunt's suggestion, Mallika calls up the director of the movie, Pranir Podi, which was acted by pregnant Padmini and Kakuli many years ago. She asked him about the disease that Kakuli had during the shoot. The director thought it was Padmini calling him from other side with a fake voice. He started screaming at her, saying he did not receive any courtesy call from Padmini after arriving in Kolkata. Yet she was calling him asking the same question that she had asked a year back, calling at midnight from America. The aunt requests Mallika to publish an article in a personal column in the magazine Mallika worked for, hiding the sender's name. Content was about a lady who was 4 months pregnant. Her sister-in-law, who is suffering from chickenpox, has started living with them. Now the lady is afraid of being infected with this disease. She came to know if it happens, there is a high chance of infecting the baby in her womb too, resulting in an abnormal child. Now her question was, should she move to her parents' house immediately? When the magazine arrived with the published article of Mallika's story and the aunt's column, the aunt added a page mark in the personal column without Mallika's knowledge to draw Padmini's attention to the aunt's column. The copies were delivered to Padmini to read about her interview with Mallika. Padmini was puzzled and disturbed after reading the column. Immediately, Padmini came to greet Mallika with a box of sweets. The aunt was serving lunch to Mallika and Shubhankar forced them to disappear in another room without any sign of presence. She welcomed Padmini, her heart throbbing. Padmini was very insistent on meeting Mallika and discussing something with her. The aunt informed Padmini that the page mark and the personal column was added by her, not by Mallika. Mallika was slightly surprised. She realized that the aunt was very intelligent and clever. She had managed to put Padmini in trap emotionally. Padmini understood there was no escape, so she opened up. With a long interrogation-type conversation, it was revealed that Padmini bore a grudge against Kakuli for spreading the contagious disease to her during the shoot of the film. Kakuli was aware of Padmini's pregnancy during the shoot, and yet she lied about it, telling everyone she was fine, just to get 7 days pay. And in the process, Padmini caught that disease, resulting in an abnormal child. Now her child is no more in the world. The aunt asked Padmini, why did she give the inhaler to Kalpana and kill her? According to Padmini, Kalpana lied to her, called over the phone with the false name of Sunil's wife. She understood by her sneezing. Kalpana saw Padmini mixing something in her own drink on the set, which Kalpana later realized was poison. She had also seen Padmini push Kakuli, resulting her in dropping the glass, after which Padmini offered her glass to Kakuli, which had the poison. So Padmini had to get rid of her and gave her an inhaler filled with poison. Now aunt knows the reason why Padmini came to meet Mallika. During the conversation, Padmini also realized the aunt's motive, started relying on her innocence. She was just Padmini's a big fan. When the aunt offered to eat sweets brought by Padmini together, Padmini refused, wanted to throw them outside because they were poisoned as well. The aunt somehow managed to stop her. She didn't want her pets to die eating the poison sweet from outside, as had happened once in the past. The aunt promised Padmini not to tell anyone about her visit and the truth she shared. She also expressed her sorrow and hugged her. Padmini also said she never had to use glycerin to cry during sad scene. Her tears comes out spontaneously. Whenever a scene took place where she had to cry, she listened to the Rabindra Sangeet, Jibana Morana Shimana Chharaye Bondhu He. The same song that was playing on the phone call that was picked by Mallika on the night of Kakuli's death. This mystery was already solved when the aunt spoke to Subhankar, who had told that the song was Padmini's favorite and that she taught him to sing it. Padmini left the house with that sweet box, promising to send an autograph for the aunt afterward. Later on, her husband Sambit found her dead in her own bedroom. Along with a letter to magazine, there was a lengthy autograph for the aunt without her name, a check for Kalpana's gift statement that she promised. She confessed in her letter that taking revenge was her only motive, but she was wrong. Her son will not come back with all revenges that she tried taking. Moreover, lives of many people got disturbed. She was supposed to fly back to America on 9th. Instead, she flight forever on 9th to an unknown destination. She requested Anne to continue with her detective work. Finally, Rangapesi solved the case using deductive logic, and she refused to hand over that letter to Mallika to print. Padmini created the news again on her death without flaw. If you like this explanation, please share with your friends and relatives and add the name of the movies in the comment box for which explanation you found. Subscribe my channel Movie Plus for getting notification of new videos. Thanks for watching.